Hello, welcome back to the Grape Explorer. Today is quiz day and today is the Greek wine quiz, giving you 10 questions to test your knowledge. Before I jump into the quiz, I just wanted to share something with you. I went to Greece a few years ago now, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I went to a specific winery to do a wine tasting, and they did a 12 wine flight, which is what I took part in, and they very kindly shared the tasting notes for me to help me understand the wines I was looking at. Here's an image of the tasting notes for you right now. As you can see, they were incredibly beneficial to a non-Greek speaker like myself, but it really made me laugh that this is the guidance that they were providing. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm the Grape Explorer. I do wine education, product reviews, lots of wine tastings and wine quizzes. So if you're interested in wine, consider subscribing. Okay, Greek language aside, let's move straight on to question number 1. Which grape is usually the principal variety in Retsina? Is it A. Acertico, B. Zino Mavro, C. Savatiano, or D. Aioietico? I can see already my pronunciation skills are going to be put to the test here. I'm already waiting for the comments down below. The correct answer in this case is C. It is Savatiano. Okay, question number 2 then, and taking us to one of the more popular islands of Greece. What is special about the vines grown on Santorini? Is it A, that they are shaped into baskets to protect the fruit from strong winds? Is it B, that they are only grown at an elevation of 400 meters and above? Is it C, that they only produce black grapes? Or is it D, they are subject to 2 growing cycles each year? When I went to Greece, Santorini is where I went. Very lucky to have been able to have gone there, and I actually rented a quad bike for the day so I could drive in amongst the vineyards, where I noticed a lot of the vines were trained into a basket style to protect them from the very strong winds I experienced. So the correct answer is A. Question 3 then, and your ability to pair certain grapes with certain regions. The wines of Nausa PDO are made exclusively from what? Is it A. Rhoditis? Is it B. Aioietico? Is it C. Acertico? Or is it D. Zino Mavro? This is a classic WSET type question. I know I say that every time, but they really are some of them. Your ability to understand what comes from rare is really important. So for those of you who've gone for D, Zino Mavro, you can tick that one off correctly. Question 4, and again, this is going to be testing your knowledge of the various regions. Which region has the highest number of Greek wine appellations? Is it A, Northern Greece? Is it B, Peloponnese? Is it C, Central Greece, or is it D, the islands? I think this is quite a tricky one, as this isn't necessarily covered off as part of any course that I've done. And so it really, for me, it would come down to guesswork here. The correct answer is actually B, it is Peloponnese. Okay, question 5, taking us back to that island of Santorini. What is the official term for the sweet wines of Santorini? Is it A, Retsina? Is it B, Oralo Crassi? Is it C, Gilkos, or is it D, Vin Santo? Might be one of the easier ones today. Some might say that the answer's in the question, which it is. The answer is D, it is Vin Santo. Question 6, and a couple of great tongue twisters for me to try and work my way through. Vidiano, Daphne, and Thrapsatheri are very rare varieties found on which island? Is it A, Crete, B, Rhodes, C, Lemnos, or D, Corfu? Real challenge when it comes to the Greek islands because there are hundreds of them. But if you've gone for A, Crete, you've got another one right. Well done. Question 7, bringing us back to something we're probably all quite familiar with as wine students. The wines of Nemea PDO are made exclusively from which grape? Is it A, Zino Mavro? Is it B, Aioietico? Is it C, Limneo? Or is it D, Mandallaria? I should have just written easier to pronounce grape, shouldn't I? I would have breezed through this. Instead I'm having to say Aioietico multiple times, which is making the sides of my cheeks hurt. That is in fact the correct answer here, as the principal variety in Nemea, and the exclusive variety in actual fact. Answer B. Question 8, those of you who watch my History of Wine video might know the answer to this one already. Who is the Greek god of wine? Is it A, Demeter? Is it B, Janus? Is it C, Dionysus? Or is it D, Iris? All of these are Greek gods. I didn't just pick random names out of the air, but Dionysus is the correct answer as the Greek god of wine. Answer C. Question 9, and moving on to the climate of Greece. Overall, what is the climate of Greece? Is it A, warm Mediterranean? Is it B, hot maritime? Is it C, warm continental? Or is it D, hot Mediterranean? I mean, I remember being hot when I went. And even though it is quite windy and therefore you might associate a lot of breezes with the place, it is still hot, and of course it is in the Mediterranean. That is the correct answer. It's answer D, hot Mediterranean. And finally, question 10, all about hazards in the vineyard. What is a concern for winemakers, particularly in eastern Greece? Is it A, spring frosts? Is it B, drought? Is it C, hail? Or is it D, excessive rainfall? The previous question's climate might be a bit of an indicator as to which direction you need to head with this one. With a hot Mediterranean climate, the biggest hazard is of course drought. That's answer B, and that brings this quiz to a close. Well then, there we are, Greece, 10 questions. I hope you found that enjoyable. I know I did researching it. Like I say, WSET only covers a few grape varietals when it comes to Greece, so it's nice for me to be able to look out some others. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your scores more importantly in the comments section below. Please always be recommending those future quizzes. I do take note of what you say. I look forward to seeing you again soon on the Grape Explorer. Cheers!